Hi, my name is Kim and welcome to my Sims YouTube channel. Today's video is a speed build on the Streamlet single lot. Before we get started, please like and subscribe. The reason I decided to do this build today kind of came from Sims 2. I was thinking when I used to play The Sims 2, I was really into making these little townhomes, and I wanted to try to do the stairs the same way that I would be able to do them in The Sims 2. And if you played The Sims 2, you know that they had the foundation and then they had like an extra foundation that you could put on it, and that was kind of how you were able to make the stairs that we have now, the modular stairs. And so I thought, okay, well, I'd like to have a build with the modular stairs, and I've been doing builds kind of like this one for a little bit now. They're really small. They've got 2 bedrooms, maybe 2 bathrooms. This one only has 1 bathroom, and I really like the way this space is. It's kind of a tight fit, but it's plenty of space for your Sims. I had a really hard time with the roof on this one. Again, I'm really struggling with the roof lately, mainly just because when you have the landing for the stairs and then you want to like incorporate like a fence right there, sometimes the roof on like the outside, if you've got like I do in the front here, the roof will like go into the house and it'll be like in that entryway, or landing, I guess, and I don't like when that happens. To me, it's very annoying. I wish it were one of those things where we could just like, I don't know, make it not happen, but it does. And so I had a hard time. I kind of went back and forth with that roof right there in the front. I think I changed up the roofing on the back of the house as well, where that back patio is, simply because I didn't want it to have the overhangs that it has. I wanted it to kind of flow a little more seamlessly. See, that's where I was talking about with that. If you have that space at the top of the stairs and you want it to be open, because obviously there's like the floor right there around the stairs, you want it to be open, you can remove the floor and then go downstairs and remove the ceiling, but you may have a problem with that little area. Surprisingly, this one seemed to work all right. That actually kind of threw me for a minute, because usually I feel like I really have to, see, there's the roof going through the wall, but usually I feel like I really have to play with that one for a good like half hour, and actually that wasn't where I spent most of my time on this one. This build took me a little bit longer than I originally expected it to, thinking that, well, it's going to be kind of more base game. I removed as much of my CC as I possibly could for this one. I thought, okay, I can go through the catalog quicker, but I think using most of the items that were really provided to us kind of threw me off again, just because I'm so used to having that custom content that I turn to. The sofas that I use, mostly just like the decorative items that I like to use. Without those, I was kind of lost. I did like the ones that I found. I was surprised too, when you open up that debug catalog, there's so much more there than I originally expected. For the outside of the house, I decided to do a mostly brick exterior. I think the whole house is brick except for 2 little spots. The front has some siding, and then the back where the bathroom is also has the green siding as well. So going back to the roof, I decided to try to get a little bit more creative, and I'm actually glad that I tried this. It didn't necessarily turn out exactly the way I wanted it at first, but I feel like it looks a lot better than it did before. I don't like when the roof goes all the way back into that room. Going back to the original foundation, like the original, I guess, the original part of the housing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so I wanted to have the roof cut off where the siding started, as opposed to going all the way back. I think it turned out really well. I wanted to have a bigger backyard than I ended up having, but I also wanted to have that patio space. So the yard's a little bit small, the patio's not the biggest, but I feel like for this lot, it's a pretty big patio in the back. Now, because I also wanted this sim to be my holiday sim this year, her name is Holly, by the way, her speed cast should be going up here in the next couple days. But I wanted to incorporate just a few little touches that had to do with the holiday coming up. And I was originally going to make this house be like a Christmas house, overrun with Christmas decorations, but once I got started into actually like furnishing this place, I really didn't want to do that. So I don't really think I put any Christmas decorations anywhere in this house. So I'll have to go back through and change that up so that I could, I don't know, re-upload the house to the gallery with Christmas items. I think this is my favorite fireplace, the one that we got from Cats and Dogs, the big one, the 3-square one. I really like that one a lot. I wish we had more colors. I cannot stress that enough. And there's a lot of custom content out there with recolors, and they all look really great, but it's not the same, right? Because it's the custom content, and in order to have it in your game, you have to go find it, and then other people can't use it because it's in your game, so if you were to put it on the gallery, they can't use it. It disappears. And with the sofas, thinking that it was going to be kind of based off a Sims 2 house that I would have built, I didn't want to use the nicest sofa that there was, but I also didn't want to not have a comfortable looking sofa. This is one of my favorite sofas, along with the one that's like the green, tan, and like orangey one that you can unlock with one of the, I think it's like the gaming career. I love that sofa. I have a few recolors of that one as well. I think that getting those recolors was good for me just because I would prefer the sofas to be black, blue, green. I mean, we have a green swatch. The other one is a little bit more of like a, I don't know, a stronger hue of the green, I guess. Not as muted, I guess. I didn't know what else to put behind the couch, so insert rooster here. I tried to go room by room this time as opposed to jumping from room to room just back and forth, and I think I was kind of able to accomplish that this time around, but I mean, you tell me. The kitchen, I really like the space that I gave for the kitchen. I feel like it's a really open area. It's not as much of an open kitchen as I keep telling myself that I'm going to create. I think I like having the kitchen kind of tucked away the way it is, so that's probably why I do it so often. But I do like the space that the kitchen gives. It's easy for your Sims to walk in and walk out, which is, I feel like, the most important part of the kitchen. Now, even though I love those counters, I'm not a huge fan of the cabinets that come with those counters. So I think in the end I changed the counters over to the ones that we got from, which one is that? The Jungle Adventure pack. I really like those counters as well. I'm really happy that we got the island counter to go with it after a while. I didn't use it in this build, or did I use it along the side of the, I think I used it along the wall where the table is. I couldn't decide what fridge to use based on the cabinets I was going to be using, but I also wanted to have the cabinets be along the other wall as well, because if I were to have them where the window is, there wouldn't be enough storage in my opinion. So that's why I decided to have that wall go a little bit higher. In a little bit you'll see that I bring that wall back down so it's a little more open. I try not to forget any of those little extra details, like you know, the alarm or I guess. Just tried to make sure I didn't forget those this time. I can tell you, I know it's a little early on, but I did remember the toilet paper this time. However, I forgot a couple things that I mean, one thing in particular. I forgot to put in a pet bowl, and this sim doesn't have a pet, but I felt like it'd be a really good house to have like a dog or something in, so I think I put some dog treats on the counter or in the laundry area that I decided I didn't know where to put the laundry room, honestly, so I kind of just shoved it here in the front. But I felt like having the dog treats, it was just a fun little decoration. I don't really ever put those anywhere. I feel like if I ever do have a pet, it's typically a cat, because I'm a cat person. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to use these this time. But I didn't put a food bowl for the dog, so sorry about that one. Maybe one day I'll remember like all those little details. Like I remember the trash can, and I remember the toilet paper, and I remember the alarm above the stove. Like I feel like that's some good work right there. Woohoo! Now when it came to this little office space area next to the microwave, I wanted it to be cluttered, but not too cluttered, but really cluttered. So I think in the end I added some mail, some filing or something. I wanted to make sure that there was stuff there, because I feel like that's one of the counters you walk in the house, everything kind of gets dumped there. So that's kind of why I wanted the mail to go there. I decided this time to use move objects. I could not use move objects. I tried last time and that just was so difficult not to use any cheats or any custom content. Now going without the custom content this time around, I found some things, like I said, in the debug items that I really enjoyed using, and then also the fact that there are things that I probably wouldn't use more often had I been more aware of their existence, and finding those, I really enjoyed using those as well. But not having CC, again, I mean, I feel like not having CC is easier than not being able to cheat. I feel like it's so much easier to be able to have your cheats than anything else. I moved that little cubby area because I didn't really feel like it fit over there anyways, and then including the broom and dustpan, it just seemed to make more sense to move that over. And my little wall of picture frames here, I'm hoping that my sim can quickly get into photography and fill up all those frames. I've been really loving these frames that we received. I think it's from the Machino stuff pack, and that was one of the packs that personally I felt was kind of silly, but I bought it anyways, and I like the photography aspect of it. That's basically most of what I use that pack and all the items for. I don't really use the clothing items either from that pack. So for the bedroom, I decided to kind of go with the same color of the wood objects as I did with the flooring. I really like the flooring. I like the basketball flooring. It's a narrow wood paneling, which I enjoy. Some of the colors are either, like the red is really bright and so is the blue, but I feel like it's still a really beautiful swatch, I feel like. I could not decide on which bedside table I wanted to use in this bedroom. I went between, I want to say 3 or 4 of them. I tried to use the one that we received from Discover University, and even though I really liked it, I used it downstairs in the living room, I believe. Even though I really liked it though, the wood coloring just didn't quite match. Hi Melody. Hi Melody. Sorry, it's my cat. I really like the lamps that we got also from, I think is that the Outdoor Retreat pack? I believe it is. I really like it. I feel like it's just a really cute lamp, and I liked using it in this build. I used it kind of everywhere, I feel like. Every room I think I used the same lamp. I found those debugged the underwater photos, and I wanted to incorporate them in this build somehow, some way. And when I went to go put them above the fireplace in the master bedroom, it just didn't seem like it fit that right. Sorry about Melody here. She needs attention. I decided to make the second bedroom an office because at this point, my sim doesn't really have any roommates, and I'm not sure if I'm going to actually utilize the roommate function. I know it's one that a lot of people are using right now, and I think that's really great that they implemented that into our gameplay, but I haven't quite used it yet, and I don't know if I really want a bunch of NPCs in my household. And then I was able to go back and incorporate those picture frames that I found. I really like those under the sea photos. They're really pretty. I think having the office be kind of blue and green, I think it just really kind of signifies me. I really love that kind of oceany kind of theme. Now, there was one item that I could not find, and I probably went over it in the catalog a dozen times, and it's I think it's from City Living, probably is, which tells me right now that I know exactly where it's from. I just couldn't find it. But it's the 3-tier jewelry boxes, and I really like to use that one, especially in on a bathroom counter or on a bedroom dresser, and for some reason I just was not able to locate it this time around. The bathroom, even though it's a decent amount of space, for me it was kind of difficult to build a layout that I felt would work in this space, mostly because I wanted the shower and tub to be over where the toilet is now being placed, and it just didn't fit right. I felt because of that window being there, I wanted to have the blinds cover the window and not have the tub or shower cover the window. But I also wanted to keep the window because of the way it looks on the exterior of the house, the symmetry of those windows being put there. I really wanted to use this mirror, so I'm really happy that I ended up using it in the bathroom. I feel like the color scheme in the bathroom, very earthy tones. I've got brown, a little bit of bronze and gold, and I feel like it just really meshes together nicely. I remember the toilet paper, woohoo! I felt like I kept forgetting clutter items, and I kept searching for different clutter items, and I just for some reason couldn't find them. And I'm not sure if it's because the clutter items I was looking for are custom content or if it's because I just couldn't find them. By the time I reached the back patio, I really didn't have much more motivation to decorate this house any longer. I wanted to get the main things out there and then kind of be done, but I don't know. I was ready to be done with it and take some screenshots and actually jump into gameplay. Well guys, here are some screenshots of this house. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.